Hello occupiers. Today's actually early morning Thanksgiving, November 24th, 2011. And I thought of a topic that I wanted to share. I wanted to talk about how you can produce and disseminate your own media. Okay, and how I do it. Alright. A couple years ago, I bought this really cheap handheld camcorder. It's from a manufacturer called Jazz. I got it at Kmart for less than about $20. And you also need an SD card. There's a slot for an SD card that goes in there to store data, store your videos, and it also takes photographs. It includes a USB connector that retracts. And so you can record on this just like a cell phone flip cam, and store the video on the SD card, and then at a local library or somewhere where they have public access computers, you can plug this into the USB port, and it acts like a USB external storage device that you can work with. And work with your files on the computer and upload them to a YouTube page. Okay, it also has the viewer flips like this. So say you're recording other things, do like this, but if you want to record yourself, you can see what you're doing. You can go like that. You can see the monitor right there. Some features this thing has for just less than $20. And whatever your income is, if maybe at locations where things are organized better, like the Occupy Highway March occupation, if you're doing a community thing like they did in the gospel, or not the gospels, but in Acts, and the first Christians pulled together their resources in the private sector, if you understand those concepts. But if you have a community pool of resources, that's fine for the private sector. That doesn't mean that translates into government, but if within a small community in the private sector, that doesn't have anything to do with government. If for needs, you're a community and you're pulling together resources, a facilitator can appoint somebody who's interested in that sort of thing to produce media, to communicate, or just share what you're doing. And you can purchase one of these and use it as common property, and maybe have a couple people that are interested in that sort of thing use it. People who are interested in you know, producing kind of home video style videos, or amateur video, and have some kind of idea about wanting to present you well and having good public relations, and you know, show good things that you're doing. Now they can go to the library, and at a public access computer, it is very easy to get a YouTube account if you just have an email address. And you can get your email address for free at Yahoo. Get an email address, use that to get a YouTube account, and then it just takes a little bit of time to see how you can upload your videos. I'm sure everybody, you know, that's just in case you don't know. I mean, I don't mean to insult your intelligence. A lot of people use YouTube. I understand. But, you know, you could upload your videos to YouTube and start a YouTube channel about your particular occupation. And things you're doing. So, if anybody out there is interested in sharing them with me, you know, you can even send them to me and I'll make a playlist for them, or not. It's up to you. I do have to say, however, if anybody is cussing or, you know, being sexually immoral or anything like that in the video, I'm gonna reject them. Or if you're being unconstitutional and espousing unconstitutional ideas, or unconstitutional ideas, I'll have to reject it too. But if you'd like to share them with me, I'd like that. And now, it'd be good to learn at least a little bit of basics on the standards of videography, and at least, you know, try to do some amount of quality. I myself, I took media production classes, and I know concepts about videography and editing. I don't always have the resources or the time to put in a really professional amount of effort into it, and I just kind of do things on the fly. But having some basic understanding of how to do it well, but you don't have to be too anal, and or maybe you want to. You know, maybe you want to do a really, really professional job. Maybe you want to get better equipment than this. But if this is all you can do, you know, at least you're doing something and keep putting on amateur videos. But somebody that would be appointed because they're interested in this sort of thing and would have the aptitude, you can go to the library and you pick up a book on videography and about video editing, and just, you know, look up about framing. A couple basics are what a headshot is. Like I try to keep this within, you know, like it's not like this, you know, or like that. It's like this. Oh, I also have a very cheap netbook. I don't even have a laptop. I have a netbook. It's a what was it called? EPC by who's the manufacturer? Well, it's a cheap netbook, and I use that. You might not even be able to afford that, I've had it for a couple years. It's worked well. And I use Ubuntu Linux, which works very well. However, my netbook has low specifications, and you know, sometimes I have you know, things with the processor speed and things like that. But it works well. The specs are low on my netbook, and I just work with what I have. And I've made many amateur videos and try to, you know, apply some amount of the things that I've learned about video production. These are things you can do. YouTube page, little cheap camera. If there's nobody that can afford it themselves, then I'm getting this idea from what I saw on TV about the Occupying Highway March. They were, you know, discussing about if they were discussing proposals for buying chairs. I kind of inferred from that you have some kind of community pulling together of resources in a small community in the private sector, which does not translate into socialism in government, but it's fine for a community in the private sector. Because, you know, I care about the Constitution, so I'm thorough about these things. And it'd be fun. It'd be fun, it'd be useful, so that you can promote your cause at least some kind of way, gets things out there for somebody to see. Something to facilitate, something for somebody to do something constructive that's fun to do and interesting. Please look at some of my examples. They're not, great professional quality, but I believe they're examples of things you could do. Look at my playlist. I meet the darndest people. That's the kind of thing you could do. Interviews of people, and I tried to apply good framing headshots, and those are simple things you could do. I have a playlist called Spoons, and that's an example of little simple editing things you could do. And YouTube has a video editor, so I don't have quality professional editing equipment, and I do things really quick with just really basic editing. And you could use the editor on YouTube, and maybe you could use some things I've done that are very amateurish, but applying some very basic standards of video production. Is that about it? Yeah, I think so. And anything you do that is within moral and constitutional, you could send me, and I'll make a playlist if you want. Alright, bye-bye.